Hello, hello. How are we doing today? I have started working in a nursery. I'm not a big plant guy, but I figured, what the heck? I've had many of jobs, so why not try out a nursery? Now, ignoring the last video where I was talking about having a troubling time being content in the workplace, I do surprisingly enjoy the nursery. It's busy and you learn lots. But I was thinking about the fact that I take in a lot of information every day from a lot of experienced gardeners that I would put out some stuff that I learn on a daily basis. Gardening does seem like it's getting quite popular. So I figured, why not join me while I also try to learn to garden? And then you also can learn some stuff while I'm learning it at the same time. Seems like a win-win to me. Yeah. So, I don't have much prepared for this first episode. I figured I'd just walk through some of the stuff that I ask people when they walk into the store. And I think this is like the good spot of where we start off with when looking at plants or whatever you are looking at. It's usually what they ask you when you walk into any kind of nursery, because you have to kind of try to. There's a lot. There's so many. There's so much stuff, and don't even get me started with like the names and the botanical names, which would be like the Latin names for it and stuff like that, because that's a whole nother episode, I think, because we have to talk about like varieties, botanical names. Again, I'm quite a beginner, so if I do put information out here that is wrong, please correct me, because I'm also trying to learn it at the same time. So, these are kind of just like the main things that I would walk through if people would come in and ask. Is you check to see if it's going to be a sun or a shade plant. That's really going to like narrow it down for what you're looking for, because obviously on each plant too, it's going to tell you what. There are quite a bit that say like some sun to part shade. It depends on your morning. Like if you have like an afternoon sun is going to be the warmer one. So like it's going to be a sun plant if it's got afternoon sun, because that's warmer sun than like a morning sun. Whereas like afternoon shade would be more of a shade plant. So usually we'll ask like sun and shade, and then I'll kind of narrow it down for what they're looking for. Annuals or perennials. So from what I've learned, from what I'm pretty sure here, annuals, it's a one and done. You kind of plant them and they die off, and if you want more, you have to go back next year and buy more. Perennials keep coming back. As long as you take care of them and maintain the upkeep, they will keep coming back. So that's a perennial, and that's what most people want, I think. I mean, annuals are nice too if you're giving them to like a friend, I guess, or maybe even, I don't know, the annuals are definitely like I find are a lot prettier. But I don't work with much annuals, so I can't even list or rattle off a couple off the top of my head. I got nothing. Get back to me on that. I'll have one for the next episode. I'm gonna write that down. Name annual. Boom, baby. Yeah, so that's annuals, perennials. Then trees and shrubs. Kind of the same thing, actually. A little bit. Trees are obviously, they stand up a little taller. I meant that shrubs and bushes are kind of the same thing. I was trying to figure out what the difference was between like a bush and a shrub. And I'm sure we could make my own episode on that one itself. But from what my research has showed me, great detail, not AI, actual research through YouTube comments, was that a shrub is the technical term, and that a bush is the non-technical term. It's pretty straightforward. But yeah, that's another thing we'd narrow it down. Is like if they're looking for like, so if someone were to come in and they're like, oh, I'm looking for like a perennial, so you just want like a flower or something like small, then you're looking for like a shade-loving or a sun-loving perennial, which would be like a smaller one. Or you're looking for like a tree, which is going to grow like a freaking tree. Or you're looking for a shrub, which can be like a bush. Or like a hedge. That would kind of be like a shrub too. So like a shrub would be like that middle range between the perennial, like just like a plant, and like a tree. But you can get a lot of sizes with shrubs too, though. So yeah, there's so much, and I think this is where it's like a good thing for me to like. This is gonna be a nice one that you can like follow me along with, because there's a lot of stuff, and I feel like I'm getting my own studying done by talking about it, and then you're also learning something too from me, which is even worse. It's great. So, yeah. I do have a garden. We do have a garden. It's not like I'm not going to be gardening at all here. I think I will try to kind of show my process of, we're just trying to get some vegetables. And that, in reality here, where just times are at, I just don't know why people plant these things. Like, I feel like vegetables would just be such a smart thing to just plant. I understand that not everyone has a garden and stuff like that. I mean more for those who like, they want to like make their garden, like their house, look pretty with some flowers. And I can't judge, like, everyone's got their own hobby. To me, it seems like vegetables are would just be like a good use of space, but it's not my house. So this camera's doing a weird thing, and I think it's time to maybe do another one. It keeps going. Yeah, so that's kind of my like beginning take on this kind of stuff here. Again, every episode I'm going to try and like go into more depth on each one is kind of my plan here. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I can show you guys some of our gardening too while we're doing it at the same time. And see how that goes. Make sure I don't kill anything. And I do love plants. I feel like I'm like a bad... like I don't want to... I like to experiment with stuff. So I would definitely be like trying to... like see how I can make it work. And I think it's really cool. Like I've heard about like, which will be another episode, but like grafting, like a lot of like apple trees, they'll graft like different types of apples onto one tree, so you'll have multiple types of apples on a tree, which is just bizarre to me, that you can get just like different types of apple in one tree. That just seems like a really hard thing to do, but very cool. So I do like that, like there's like a very scientific side to it. But I don't know if I can. I feel like my scientific side would be like to try something if it makes it grow better, and then I'd kill it and I'd be like, oh, why did I do that? I don't want to kill something. I feel like plants especially. I don't want to. I'll feel bad if I kill it. So I shall try my hardest not to. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching here, and yeah, maybe I will have some better info next time. I think next time is going to be a little more of a, again, like a one topic instead of a whole thing. So, yes. Thank you very much. And ciao.